just watching some things, and they had this thing on about neighbors, and this was in England, and the guy comes over to his neighbor's door. It's this old guy, and he's knocking on the neighbor's door, and he's going, I've got a problem with my internet. Well, why are you coming to me? Because I need your password. What do you mean you need my password? Have you been using my internet? He goes, yeah. He goes, we could solve this if you just, take your password off. It's like, yeah, just take off your password and I wouldn't have any problem anymore. It takes a lot of guts to go over and saying, yeah, I'm scamming your internet, and you just give me your password so that I can continue to scam and use your internet. Oh, mercy. Sometimes, you just have to laugh. You just have to laugh. But yeah, this old guy goes over to his neighbors and just says, yeah, I need your password. Just take your password off. Make it easy for me. Now, this was supposed to be about really good neighbors. So I guess maybe the guy did give him the password or, let him continue to use the internet. But yeah, that was, I need your password. That's what's wrong with my internet. Oh my God, the craziness of it all. So let's go ahead and go forward and just do a open read. Let's see what it's going to point to today. Let's see what kind of information it's going to tell us this morning. I just keep thinking of this old guy going over, and yeah, I got a problem with my internet. I need your password. Oh, mercy. Craziness. So let's see what we have. The start of it is about a message. The message. Let's see what the message is about. About disappointments. We've had these types of things coming up for a time now, haven't we? Disappointments. A lot of people are going through a lot of disappointments. When it comes to monetary or lies or spins or just the whole of this drama. And again, having some self-confidence is the key to get through this time with all that we're dealing about. The fish can also be an abundance of things as well. Okay. So about a lot of disappointing messages that are coming out. And so, yeah, it's about documents. About the Constitution or documents, etc. And we have maybe reached a turning point. Okay? Let's hope so. A turning point. And hit a crossroads. The challenge is the crossroads. We are at a crossroads. Well, we can't argue with that, with all the stuff that's going on. A crossroads when it comes to integrity. So this is the first time this card has come up in these. The turning point is the first time too. So when it comes to the documents, when it comes to the Constitution, a turning point when it comes to the crossroads of integrity. So that's the challenge, is having integrity. like I said, you have to live your life with honesty, integrity, transparency, sacredness, and simplicity. So potential outcome are friends, rely on things you can rely on, friends, things that are, when it comes to competition, okay? So I'm wondering if this is having to do at a crossroads with friends and the competition at loggerheads. Kind of not doing so well with the friends any longer when it comes to that. Now, I would say let's look at the extra information. What's at the heart of it? What's at the heart of it is balancing, bringing some balance. So I would say when this comes, if we are looking at Trumpenstein, the Orange Menace, that some of the people that have been around him, that have been loyal supporters, friends, are now at loggerheads with him, okay, the competition, okay? So the ones that have been surrounding him, that have been supportive, are now looking at him like, are they going to step up and have some integrity? Reached a crossroads now, okay? At the heart of it, we need to bring in some balance. So if we're looking at it, and I think this has to do with the Orange Menace and his administration, the message is there's some disappointments going on, okay, with those surrounding him. And his self-confidence, the key is his self-confidence when it comes to the monetary things, which have been delusional, okay? He's absolutely delusional. And so now we're looking at these documents and reached a turning point when it comes to integrity, and his loyalists are now going loggerheads with him, and the heart of it saying we need to get some balance here. So I think this has to do with the trade wars and that type of thing as well, that they are disappointed in his self-confidence, his, brouhaha there, and they've reached a turning point when it comes to integrity, and at loggerheads with him and saying, we need to get some balance with this stuff, because your message about the monetary stuff, the documents you're putting out there, his tantrums that he continues to put out there, I don't call them the things that he's putting out there. I just call them his tantrums, that he's executive tantrums that he's putting out there. Look, we reached a crossroad with it, and, we've been loyal at the heart of it, but now we're saying we're at loggerheads with you, that you need to come to some reality and get some balance in here, okay? So are they going to actually stand up and have some integrity and say, look, we reached a turning point with this, and while you think you know what you're doing, you don't, okay? You may have all the self-confidence in the world, okay? The key when it comes to the monetary things. But really, we are disappointed with the message, the things that you're putting out. And, with your executive tantrums, we've reached a turning point with what you're putting out. We have to step up with some sort of integrity when it comes to the crossroads. And while we've been loyalists, while we've been supportive, now it's time at loggerheads, just, because this is not working. And at the heart of it, we need to get some balance in here. Because really, you've gone off the deep end. Okay? Basically, it looks like those surrounding him are telling him, you've gone off the deep end with this stuff. Okay? So let's look and see if it can give us a clarifying thing. Clarification on this. I'm going to try using the CHIT and see if it will tell us what's going on behind the scenes with this, because it looks like some of the ones surrounding him see that he's just, lost it. We see him getting more and more unstable by the day. So let's see what we have. So at the center of it, it says they're scrutinizing things. We need to really just look at this deeper. All the ins and outs of everything that's happening, the knots. We're looking at this knot. When it comes to the joy, okay? When it comes to the light about what's going on and the choices being made, okay? So, the card of joy, this is actually the card of light, shedding light on it, scrutinizing it, okay? So it's about, bringing things together, alchemy, about the, and the alchemy card is also that of manifestation or his manipulation of things. So shedding light, scrutinizing his manipulations and the things he's trying to affect with his intentions. Scrutinizing his intentions, where he's going with this. The foundation is, wanting to bring things to a bit of a rest when it comes to transformation. Maybe it's time for him to step back a bit. It could be what they're saying, scrutinizing, Now, we know that I think in a lot of the stuff that's going on, it's not him, it's those that are surrounding him, like Stephen Miller, the ones that have his ear, Bannon, Stephen Miller, those types, that are actually the ones behind the scenes calling the shots. Okay? So there is a lot of anxiety when it comes to what he's trying to manipulate, the things that he's putting into place. Saying we need to, be realistic being here, okay? We need to be realistic with what's going on, figuring out the next action, okay, with the intention and what's coming up. And they're looking at the intuition, trying to figure it out which way this is going and what needs to come to a rest, time to just step back. So they want to have a satisfaction with the cooperation when it comes to what's been hidden. So let's see what's hidden. The union. Okay, so again, who's behind the scenes pulling the, just making the decisions and this resistance that's taking place when it comes to cooperating? A big resistance. And so now, above it all, is maybe some understanding when it comes to intuitionally scrutinizing what's going on and saying it's time to step back, okay? Because you need to wake up, because this is not going well. So they're trying to be authoritative, wisdom keepers, some of them trying to talk some sense into him, okay, with what he's doing, with his dream, with his drama, the things he's trying to put into motion, and saying it's time to step back, depart from some of the things that are being done there. So yeah, trying to get a better satisfaction when it comes to those behind the scenes working on these things. But of course, the other side of it, there's some resistance when it comes to cooperating. So internal fights going on there behind the scenes when it comes to the Trumpenstein administration. Again, the time to depart from some of his, delusional thoughts going on. Behind the scenes, those trying to bring some knowledge, trying to stand up, wake up with an understanding, looking at the intuition about things and saying, scrutinizing it, look, we need to step back from some of this, especially the tariff things, okay? Because there's a lot of anxiety about the manipulation, okay? It's shedding light on it. This is not a happy, joyful thing. This is shedding light on the manipulation and sharing their anxiety about what's going on, okay? We need to be here now when it comes to the intention of where things are going, what you're putting into motion, okay? Trying to figure out your next action. But you need to be here now. You can't be wallowing in the past or projecting in the future. You need to understand what's going on now. And again, at the center of it is scrutiny. Looking at these things and saying, your tariff things is not working. We're getting the opposite of what you're saying and what you think is going to happen. The opposite has taken place, and they need to step back. Now, we know that they're stepping back for a 3 months hiatus with this stuff when it comes to the tariff war. And it looks like those behind the scenes, his big supporters are now at loggerheads and saying, look, no, we don't agree with this, and this needs to be brought to a rest so that we can go forward to something viable. Your way is not working. Okay, yeah, we see you got all the self-confidence in the world that you know what to do with the economy, but clearly that's not the case. So anyway, on that note, I will leave that here. But it looks like, again, they have some loggerheads in trying to work behind the scenes. There are those that are trying to give him some rational information, and then those that are resistant to it. Ones like Stephen Miller and, his Goombas back there that are, just continuing in their delusion and pushing this agenda that they have. You have Stephen Miller that wants to act like he's some big lawyer or something. He's got no law degrees. He's got nothing. He's just an instigator, okay? So anyway, on that note, I'll leave that here, and we'll just have to see how this plays out. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you online.